And this morning, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about high school sports. A lot of you may look at me and you may see me as maybe having an athletic build, maybe not so much around the midsection these days. But yes, I did play high school sports growing up. If you look at the statistics, it shows that 0.02 to 0.03% of people who play high school sports will ever become a professional in the sport that they are playing. So are high school sports just a complete waste of time? Should we encourage children? Should we encourage teenagers to be a part of high school sports? Well, I'd like to argue the affirmative on that this morning. Because I think high school sports, and I believe that high school sports are very important in building teamwork and collaboration, helping somebody become dedicated to something very specific, and helping them to inspire to be a better person. You see, in high school, I was in multiple sports. And you may look at me, I'm 6'1", just shy of 200 pounds. In high school, I was closer to about 160 pounds, just to give you an idea. And you may look at me and you go, wow, he's got the perfect build of a basketball player. He probably was a basketball star in high school. Well, I'll tell you that I said a phrase often in high school, and it was, the thing I adore most about the basketball floor are the wrestling mats from door to door. You see, in high school, I wanted to play football, but my parents wanted me to be a great wrestler. So instead, I ran cross country to make sure that I was in shape and ready for the wrestling season. So yes, I ran cross country and I was a wrestler in high school. And I think and believe still to this day that these really helped build character inside of me. And one of the biggest things that I learned in wrestling was teamwork. Now, a lot of people look and think about wrestling and they go, well, that's not a team sport. That's an individual sport. You go out there and you, as an individual, wrestle against another individual. But we often had team matches where our team would wrestle against another team. And one of those very specifically that I can remember that built a lot of character in me was my junior year of high school. You see, we went to Aberdeen, South Dakota, which is the third biggest city in South Dakota, and we wrestled against Aberdeen Central. And I was wrestling against, and I can still remember the guy's name. His first name is Tyler. Never wrestled this guy before, but I was getting ready for it. Was getting mentally prepared. I was stretching. My match was next. And everybody was wishing me good luck. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't know about this guy. And there was a lot of stuff that I didn't understand about our match, the potential implications of our match. I went out there and I wrestled my heart out and I lost. Final score of the match was 8-5. I, being upset because I'm very competitive, got off the match, took my headgear off and threw it down on the ground because I was a little upset I lost the match. Thought I should have won. And I had my coach come over to me, pat me on the back, and he says, great work, Eric. And I went, oh, okay, I guess I did all right. What I didn't understand was we went on to win that match as a team, 33-32. He told us the next day at our practice that he believes we won that match because I lost the way that I did. I was so confused as to what he meant. Well, when the lineup was put out, their coach believed that Tyler would either pin me, win by a major decision, or somehow get an extra point or two from our match. But because our match ended up being so close, our team won. And that is how I learned that sometimes you might lose, but teamwork is so important in how you act when you're out there playing. Number 2 is dedication. You see, I wrestled for 13 years. Started in kindergarten. I didn't actually start wrestling matches until I was in 2nd grade. But I started practicing in kindergarten, and I wrestled all the way through my senior year of high school. And I was always considered an above average wrestler. I had a little bit of length on most of the guys I wrestled because they all stood about to my chin, and they had muscles stacked on muscles. And I was long and lanky, but I knew how to use my leverage against the people that I wrestled. I made it to state multiple times in my high school career. But leading up to my senior year, I'd never placed. I always came one match shy from placing. I put extra effort into my senior year. And would you believe it? I came out with 6th place. But it was because of dedication. I decided that I was going to eat wrestling. I was going to sleep wrestling. I was going to breathe wrestling. I was going to give everything that I could into being the best wrestler I could my senior year. I learned that dedication to something, to a goal that I was trying to achieve, was really important if I wanted to see it happen. And finally, high school sports helped me to become inspired to be a better me, inspired to be a better teammate, inspired to be a better individual. My final year of wrestling, we got to our award ceremony. And leading up to that, I had won a couple different awards. You see, I won the hardest worker award my freshman year. And I believe I maybe won it my junior year as well. But leading up to my senior year, you see, I was a team captain. I had placed finally 6th place, which was really exciting to me because I had a very difficult weight class. And I thought leading up to that year, I'm going to get some kind of award. So we're sitting down at our awards thing, and I'm going, what kind of award am I going to get? Am I going to get, maybe I'll get hardest worker because I worked my butt off this year. Maybe I'll get most improved because I went from not doing anything last year at state to placing 6th. Maybe I'll get, in my mind, I'm thinking about all these different things that I would get for an award. And of course, what do they always do? They always save MVP, most valuable player, most valuable wrestler, for the end. Well, I was going through all the awards, and every time an award would come up, I'd start to puff my chest out. Sorry, Nova, I wasn't being so humble at that time. And I think it's going to be me on this one. And the coach would start to talk about the individual, and slowly my shoulders would droop because I knew he wasn't talking about me. Well, the MVP came up. This has got to be it. It's my senior year. I had a great year. It's got to be me. And he starts talking, and it sounds like me. And then he says something, and I go, well, maybe that's not me. The award ends up going to somebody else. And I think that the season is over, and I ended my senior year without an award. At that time, my coach calls up a family, and long story short, this family had just lost their son earlier that year for an unknown reason, and he was a wrestler. This family comes up, talks about their son, how much he loved wrestling, and they decide they're going to introduce a brand new award, the Most Inspirational Wrestler Award. And I was called up for the first year of that award, Most Inspirational Wrestler. And that really changed my mindset about what it means to be in high school sports. You see, high school sports help foster teamwork, collaboration, dedication, or perfecting some way of yourself and inspiring individuals to bring out their best. High school sports may not last in somebody's life, but they can sure shape someone into being a better individual. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.